Hey folks, Crazyclimber80 here again, and we're going to look at another game show review, and this is of the very first arcade video game show called Starcade. It ran on cable back in the early to mid 80s on WTBS, or just TBS. It also ran on syndication. It ran from 1982 to 1984, and then reruns were on TBS till January 1985. Very, very, very early on Sunday mornings. Well, let's look at some information about the show. It started on December 27, 1982, and ran until sometime in 1983 on WTBS, and from 1983 to February 24, 1984, syndicated. Reruns were shown on TBS until January 1985, very early in the morning. I think it came on at like 5 or 6 in the morning. I was only able to catch one episode back then. Creators were James Caruso and Mavis Arthur, or Mavis, I'm not sure. Hosts were Mark Richards for just the first 20-some episodes, and then Jeff Edwards for the rest of the series. The announcer was Kevin McMahon, or Mahan. Filmed at Bridge Studios in San Francisco, California, and the theme was called Mind Seed by Edwin and Joanne Anderson, who worked for Data East and Exidy. The production company was JM Production Company and Turner Program Services. Distributors were Turner Program Services and Warner Brothers TV Distribution. There were 4 pilots. The first was hosted by Mike Enzione, who was an Olympic gold hockey player, and Alex Trebek hosted the other 3 pilots. And it was originally, I believe, supposed to be airing on NBC with Alex Trebek as the host, but Ted Turner picked it up instead for his WTBS station, and Alex Trebek was busy hosting Battlestars at the time.
This is Starcade, TV's first video arcade game show. A game show for today. And here's your host, Mark Richards.
Hi, and welcome to Starcade. Our 2 players have been practicing up for today's exciting program, and they'll be competing against each other for some fantastic prizes on the newest and most exciting video arcade games in the entire world. And right now, players, are you finished practicing up here? How about you? Are you ready for some fun and excitement? Well, let's go and play Starcade. Oh, boy.
Two players, or sometimes there were two teams of two apiece, played. For each of 3 rounds, they start with one toss-up question related to arcade video games. Whoever wins control by either buzzing in and answering correctly or letting the opponent miss gets to pick one of 5 pre-selected arcade games. They then try to get as many points on that game within a time limit of 40, 50, or 60 seconds. It kind of changed throughout the series, I think. And the opponent gets to do the same. The second round has less time for gameplay, and the leader at the end of that round plays a special game. They try to identify 4 games through video clips of gameplay. 3 correct guesses won a prize, and all 4 won an additional prize. Round 3 did not have this game.
We have 5 video games on today's program. Some you'll recognize, others will be brand new to you. You'll both be playing the same 3 games. The high scorer on those 3 games gets to play one of the 2 remaining games for a fantastic prize, and that is your very own video arcade game. And I'm sure you'll want to know what the prize is. Here's Kevin to tell you all about it. Kevin?
It's Burger Time, a Build-A-Burger game featuring Chef Peter Pepper, furnished by Data East.
That is your prize. Now, there's 2 rounds of competition on Starcade. In the first round of competition, you'll both be playing 2 games, and the high scorer at the end of that round gets to play the bonus game. And in the second round of competition, 1 game at 30 seconds of time play, okay? Right now, let's find out more about the 5 games on Starcade today, and here's Kevin to tell them just what they are.
Mark, game number 1 is Cubert, a peculiar hopping happy creature. Game 2 is Pole Position. You're on the fast track in pole position. Game 3 is Pengo, a penguin's adventures on ice. Game 4, Holy Moly, take your mark and whack-a-mole. And Game 5 is Rescue, a flight to save and defend.
Those are the 5 games on today's Starcade, and let me tell you right now, Drew and Elaine, one of those games has a bonus prize attached to it. And if you pick that game, that bonus prize is yours. So if you're all set, good luck. We're going to start off by asking you a question based on video arcade games. The first one of you 2 to press your buzzer, answer it correctly, gets the first choice of a game. Here we go. What is the name of the bouncing happy face in the game Berserk? Is it yes, Drew? What is it?
Evil Otto.
Evil Otto is right. That's what it is. Or the other choice was Dastardly Jack. And that means you get to pick the very first game of today's games on Starcade. Which one will it be?
I'll take Pango.
You're going to take Pango. And you know what? You're also going to get a bonus prize. That is our bonus game, and we're going to find out what you just won, Drew. And here's Kevin to tell you your prize.
It's a gift certificate for a pair of Wrangler jeans and a Wrangler denim jacket. Comfortable clothes for tough customers by Wrangler.
Very good.
As host Mark Richards mentioned, one of the 5 selectable games had a special prize attached to it if you picked that particular game. And players would have up to 4 opportunities to do it, once for each of the 3 rounds, and if they were the champions, for the bonus game as well.
Okay, you come on over with me to the playing area, and here's Kevin to tell us all about the game called Pango. This way, please.
Pengo the penguin swaggers his way through an ice block field, avoiding the snow bees, crumbling ice blocks in his way, and trying to line up the 3 diamond blocks in a row for big points. He can score extra points by freezing a bee against a wall or crumbling the flashing blocks where the snow bee eggs are hatching. Or Pengo can stop a snow bee with an ice block. The whimsical Pengo, master of the ice.
Well, Duru, you picked Pango, right? Have you played it before?
Yes, I have.
What's the highest score you've ever had?
Only a couple of thousand.
Well, you got 40 seconds on our clock to get as many points as you can during that 40-second time period. And we wish you luck. And if you're all set, into playing position, 40 seconds on the clock. Ready and begin. Well, Duru, how do you think you did?
Well, I could have done a lot better.
Let me tell you what you did exactly. 1,570 points you got for your efforts on Pango. And right now, we're going to send you back to the podium and bring up Elaine. Come on up here, Elaine. Let me see. Do I see a smile on your face?
Oh, why not?
I have a. Is that a smile or a frown?
I don't know what I scored.
Well, I'll tell you what. You should have a frown. Let me see your frown.
Okay.
Because you only scored 730 points, and that means at the end of the first game, Duru is ahead. But we'll be back. We got 2 more games to go on today's exciting competition on Starcade with Elaine and Duru. We'll be back. Turn around, take a look at these 4 monitors, Duru, and one at a time, I'm going to have you look at the monitors, and I'll give you a choice of 2 possible answers. You answer them correctly, and those prizes are yours. Number 1, Duru, is that reactor or star maker?
Reactor.
Correct. Number 2, is that spirals or explorers?
Explorers.
Yes. Number 3, is it frenzy or berserk?
Berserk.
No, I'm sorry. That is frenzy. You can still win a prize if you get this one correct. Number 4, is this Pac-Man or baby Pac-Man?
Pac-Man.
You got it, and you've won yourself. You've won yourself a prize, okay? And we have another bonus round, and of course, the great big bonus game coming up where you can win yourself your very own video arcade. And that comes up with more of Elaine and Duru following these words.
The leader at the end of the 3rd round was the champion of the day, and they got to play a bonus game in which they selected one of the remaining 2 games, and then they got 30 seconds to beat the average score of 20 other players that played that game. If they did, they won an arcade game, home entertainment robot, jukebox, or sometimes a vacation.
Well, it's time now on Starcade to find out who the big winner is. And it looks like Elaine Sampson, you have yourself a grand total of 8,340 points for today's efforts. And Duru, 10,250. And Duru is the big winner, and you get to play for the grand prize, your very own Burger Time video arcade game. Elaine, you've been a great contestant, and we hope you had some fun with us today. And
Thank you.
go home with your very own home computer. You stay right where you are, please. You're ready to play. All right, Duru, we have 2 games remaining. We have Q*bert and we have Rescue. If you choose Q*bert, you must score 650 points. If you choose Rescue, you must score 1,110 points. Now, those are the average scores of 20 people playing those games for a 30-second time period, which you'll also have 30 seconds. So which one will it be?
I'll take Q*bert.
It's Q*bert, a nosy fellow that hops about changing colors, scoring points as he goes from cube to cube. Pursued by Coily, Ugg, and Wrong Way. Lure Coily over the side for points by jumping to safety on the disc.
There we go. 30 seconds on the machine. You're playing Q*bert for the grand prize. Ready and begin. I can tell you didn't do it, did you?
No.
You came close enough. You needed 650. You got yourself 550 points, but you don't go home empty-handed because you won yourself a Casio BL Tone and some sportswear. So you feel good about that?
Yeah.
Okay, we have some friends in the audience. Why don't you come on up? Wish him good luck. He's been a great player. You come on up, Elaine. This is Mark Richards. We'll see you again next time on Starcade. Bye-bye.
Some final thoughts on the earlier parts of Starcade. I guess early on in the series, each round had a guess the game segment for the leader, not just the second round. Mark Richards wasn't a great host. He seemed perhaps ill at ease at times and didn't really follow or know much about video games. He only lasted 23 episodes before veteran Jeff Edwards of Treasure Hunt hosted. Jeff didn't really follow video games either, but he studied them for the show and eventually grew to like them. And let's watch some of Jeff Edwards' appearances.
This is Starcade, TV's first video arcade game show, starring your favorite video games, and some brand new ones being introduced to the public for the first time anywhere. And now, here's your host for Starcade, Jeff Edwards.
Thank you very much. Welcome to Starcade. Here we are backstage. Our players are warming up for today's big match, and today one of these teams is going to have the chance to win their very own video arcade game. So players, are you ready? Yeah. All set? Let's go play Starcade. Here we go. Okay, here we are. Excuse me, I'll come in the middle if it's all right with you guys. Welcome to Starcade. Nice to have the studio audience here. And hello
Today
to
we have Ms. Pac-Man, the petite cutie munching her way. Next, it's Pac-Man Plus, the great one at greater speed. Then it's Pac-Man, the original and still great. And Super Pac-Man, the mighty one taken over. And our special guest star today, Snake Pit, a great new game from the man who started it all. Jeff?
Okay, thank you, Kevin. Well, those are today's 5 games. Both teams had a chance to play them before today's show. Just a reminder that one of those games is a mystery game. If you pick it in the first 3 games, then you automatically win a prize. And right now, Kevin's going to whisper to the home audience. He'll tell them what the mystery game is.
The mystery game today is Pac-Man Plus.
Okay, Kev, thank you. I have a question for you. First team to buzz in gets to answer the question. Answer correctly, you'll pick the first game. Ready? Hands on buzzers. What is page 2 on Arabian? A, the ship, or B, the shore?
The shore.
Adrian and Mike.
B, the shore.
The shore, right. They buzzed in, so they got a chance to answer. All right, Mike and Adrian, you pick the first game. What are we going to play?
Pac-Man.
Pac-Man. Plain old Pac-Man will be first. Kevin, tell us about that.
It's the original Pac-Man on a lazy munch around the maze, gobbling up dots, scoring points, and enticing the monsters close to the Energizer dots so he can turn the monsters blue and then gobble them up and score more points. If a cherry or a strawberry or a lemon should appear in the maze, he might stop to munch a bit and make still more points. It's the Pac-Man, known to all and loved by many.
Well, I can see, Mike, you're going to play this. Here goes Mike. 40 seconds. One. Can you get the other one? There you go. And Michael and Ted have 6,790. Not too much of a difference between the two of you, but Michael and Ted, you're in the lead. There's still one more game to be played in this round, though, as we know, and total points scored on both games then will determine who gets to play the name of the game board. Next question coming up. Hands on buzzers. In Time Pilot, what kind of flying machine does the player encounter in the year 2001?
Flying saucers.
Yes, right. UFOs, flying saucers. We accept that. All right. Those are rocket ships and UFOs. Good luck to you. You have 50 seconds, Michael. Ted will cheer you on. Get ready. Get set. Go.
Space Duel.
Yes, you're right. If that was a guess, you guessed it on the nose. And you get all the bionic chair or the pendant. In a moment, we'll be back and see if these guys can continue their lead and who's going to have a shot at their very own jukebox. Your own jukebox. There's still 2 games left unplayed, Pac-Man Plus and Super Pac-Man. And during the commercial, we informed you that if you pick Pac-Man Plus, you'd have to score at least 3,400 points. If you pick Super Pac-Man, you'd have to score at least 4,400 points. Those are the average scores of more than 20 other players who played these same games. You discussed it, did you?
Yes.
What did you decide?
Pac-Man Plus.
Pac-Man Plus. That means if you score 3,400 points or more in 30 seconds, you win the grand prize. That's the jukebox. So while Kevin tells us about Pac-Man Plus, we'll go over and get ready to play. Good. Got that? You got it. You got it, man. You just nailed that thing. No wonder you were just saying yes. You know what you're going to do all the time. Congratulations. You got yourself a jukebox. You guys have a heck of a team. Boy, what a player he is. Hope you enjoyed Starcade today. Until the next show, the Jeff Edwards saying, hope all your troubles get zapped. Bye-bye.
This is Kevin McMahon speaking. Starcade is a JM production.
Some final thoughts on Starcade. As you could tell, Jeff Edwards was a much better host than Mark Richards. Not that Mark Richards was terrible or anything, but Jeff was more involved, and he would do play-by-play of the gameplay. He'd give hints during gameplay. The show really should have lasted a lot longer than it did. It probably would have had NBC picked it up like that was the intent. And they would have had Alex Trebek as the host. And as I mentioned, he hosted 3 pilots. And there's Mike Eruzione, who hosted the first pilot. And this is my disclaimer. I do not claim ownership of any properties of Starcade or games in this video. This is just for game show fans to learn about this show and its history only. I make no money off of this. So please don't be a dick and try to sue me or force me to take the video down. But that was my tribute to Starcade, a game show from 1982 to 1983 on TBS and 1983 to 1984 on syndication, with reruns on TBS till January 1985, very, very early on Sunday mornings. Well, this is Crazyclimber80's, and thanks for watching Starcade. Really, really awesome first video game show. I thank you for watching, and I hope you have a fantastic day, and I will catch you later with my next video. Bye-bye, folks.